kind of came down a little hard there. Hi, my name is Star, and this is
David.
And we are
The Golds.
That is so. That was so weird, but that worked. Okay, so we are the Golds. We're going to be doing some interesting videos, so we're very excited about them. We're going to be starting with our Keeping It Real with the Golds, which is some conversation topics that we'll be discussing with our channel. Very exciting. We've been wanting to vlog for a while, but it's kind of been something that we kind of pushed back, but we're going to get started with the Keeping It Real. Something that we wanted to discuss on our first video is something that has to do with how we met, which is online dating. I think it's a great way to meet people and get to know people. It makes you feel more comfortable. I really do think so. So I think it's something that everyone should experience if they're single, even if you're kind of leery about it. It's something that's really fun, and it's a comfort zone. You're able to just chat with people and, you know, not feel so much pressure. It's different when you're meeting people in person, those nerves and things like that. So I think online dating is a great tool, and there's so many different websites to utilize for online dating. Some that are free, some you have to pay for. So there's a variety of options for online dating. And like I said, that's how we pretty much met, was online dating. So we're gonna discuss both of our experiences with online dating and how we feel they have, you know, been for us, our experiences. I guess I'll go first. Is that okay?
It's fine.
Okay. So for me, I didn't do a lot of online dating. I was definitely kind of leery about it. I felt like it was only a whole bunch of creeps on online dating websites. I just didn't think it was a positive way. So I always met people through friends, family, going out, things like that is how I met partners I had in the past. So I felt like I would never utilize online dating because I didn't have trouble meeting guys in, you know, settings in public. So I never thought I would use it, and I used it when I met him, obviously, and what made me use it was a friend of mine. She was using online dating, and she was telling me how, you know, it's not what you think, and I was kind of leery to do it, but she really pushed me to, so I created a page on Plenty of Fish. And that's how we met there. I kind of had the mentality of I'm not looking for anything serious, even though I made the page. So every time I had a conversation with people, I made it clear that I was just looking to, you know, meet cool people, and that was it. My experience was I would chat with a few people, but I would be kind of leery to give my number out, so I really didn't do it often. I would carry on a lot of conversation on the actual app and would exchange numbers with many of the people on there, which is something that you really should do, because it's like, you know, if you feel some type of connection, you want to be able to get off the website, you know, text over the phone, have phone conversations. But I wasn't willing to do that often. So one day, this guy here sent me a message, and so silly. And it was very, it had a lot of detail. It was, you know, he said a lot in his very first message. And my experience with other guys on the website, where they were very short, with, hey, how are you? How was your day? Simple stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but the way he messaged me stood out. He just had a lot to say about, you know, what my profile had to say, my pictures and things like that. So he had a lot to say that made me interested into having a conversation with him. So I responded, and we talked back and forth on the app for a couple of days. And it was nice. We felt an instant connection just because it felt like the conversation never got dull. There was so much to talk about. I mean, most of the time when you're first getting to know someone, there's a lot to talk about, so I guess that's kind of the norm. But at the same time, there was something different about him that made me feel comfortable within a couple of days to exchange numbers. What was that face? So we exchanged numbers, and I was really excited to kind of get off the website, because when me and him started talking, I decided to really not talk to the guys on the website. I was with a couple, but I kind of pulled back because a lot of my attention was focused on him at the time. And then we would talk over the phone. So we actually had phone conversations, to pick up the phone, talk. I want to match a voice with a face. I don't want to text all day. That just wasn't something I was interested in. So we had conversations over the phone, and at first I was a little nervous, but that became comfortable as well. So once we finally decided to actually go on a date, I feel like the nerves weren't as heavy as they would have been had we not talked over the phone. So it definitely made for all you're doing is just shaking your head. it made for
Disagreeing.
it made it for it to be more comfortable when we met. So we had our first date and we had dinner and a movie. It was really nice. And we continued on going on dates. And it was hard for me to, be real and say, oh, I met this person on an online dating site. I still felt embarrassed
People
by
judge.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, I
People
don't know
judge.
why I was so embarrassed by it. I mean, it's, something a lot of people do, and it shouldn't be something you feel weird about or ashamed of. It's normal, something wrong. Like I said, I had the mentality that only creeps were online dating, which is, not a good mindset to have because it's not that way anymore. It's not viewed that way for a lot of people anymore, so I don't know why I felt that way. So, we continued to date and we just got closer and closer and the bond, kept growing and I knew he was the guy for me. So, oh, wasn't that
She
sweet?
see what she got herself into.
What? I love him. What does that mean? So that was my experience. Like I said, not much experience with online dating, but I definitely found the love of my life with online dating. So I really had a great experience. And I feel like I was lucky because I didn't deal with a lot of crazies online. So I definitely had a great experience with online dating. So I'm going to let him go ahead and tell his side of the story. His experience is different than mine, so he'll go ahead and tell you his experience with it.
I started on Plenty of Fish in 2006. I was on there for quite some time, on and off. I was never the type of person that was able to. I was never the type of person to be able to address, someone in person. Just walk up to somebody in a bar or lounge, or when I was in high school and elementary and middle school, I would give notes to young ladies that said check yes or no if you want to go out on a date, or check yes or no if I'm cute, those type of things. So I was always the type, then to be kind of shy with dating, even though everyone who knows me knows I'm a very outgoing type of individual. But basically, when I started on the site in '06, I had the idea that, okay, I'm probably not going to meet very many people on here, but this is a good way to channel, my shyness and be able to talk to people and tell them about myself and learn people and things like that. And over time, what I've found is that the best things to do to be successful on that site is to just put photos of yourself on there, make sure they're updated, full try to get the full to show everything in that photo. And then to make your profile in length, just in detail, talk about yourself. It'll be more alluring to people, to see that, okay, this person took the time to put this on the site. And when you're emailing somebody, just don't say hey, hi, just one word sentences and things like that. It's absolutely best just to put in there, hi, my name is so and so, and I've noticed your profile, and just put some details from what you read, because most people are like, okay, did he look at my photos or did he read, things like that. And when I would email someone I was interested in, and what I would do is I would go ahead and I would say, look, this is what I read in your profile, this is what I have in common with you thus far, and these are the things I like and am interested in, and if you want to chat, go ahead and hit me up from there. So I had a mixed experience with it. I met some good people, and I met Star here on Plenty of Fish, and that changed my life. So we started dating. We went out the first date. I ran out of the car, opened the car door to open the passenger side. I'm like, I need to make a good impression there.
Let's talk about that. So like when he opened the door for me, guys, I was like, why is he doing all of this? Like it was definitely. Like, he was a real gentleman. He treated me great on our dates in terms of, showing that he would make sure I walked through the door first, open the door of the car. I know that seems like every guy should be doing that, or, but not every guy does those things, and he was definitely trying to impress from the very first, time he opened the door for me, to go inside the restaurant or the car door. So just little things like that mean a lot to a woman, and those are some really good tips as well. Just for the men out there, be a gentleman. Think of sweet things to do, on that first date that maybe another guy hasn't done for her before. I really noticed those things, and I always bring them up to him that he was so, such a gentleman. It may seem basic, but for me, it meant a lot, so.
Yeah, I jumped out of the car. I was like, wait, don't get in yet. And I ran around. I probably scared her at that point, so be careful.
Okay, so back to the dating. We dated for about like 3 months before he decided to propose to me. It was kind of quick, but we knew we knew that this was the perfect fit for both of us. So, I mean, he decided that, yes, actually, because he proposed to me. But I felt like we were going to go in that direction fairly soon anyway. Like, even though before he proposed to me, I knew we were going to be heading toward the direction of marriage and things like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, basically, I knew what I wanted. So, after the 3 months, I took her to a nice steakhouse. We had a nice dinner. It's called Mike's. It's in Virginia. Very good meal. Very romantic. And then from there, I took her back to my home, and that's where I proposed to her. And that's when I made that decision that I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her.
Yeah.
So it was quick, yes, but we spent a lot of time together. We went on a lot of dates. We had fun together, and it was a great decision and a good one at that. So
Yeah. And we were engaged for a while as well. And then we, continued on experiencing different things that we haven't experienced. So he moved closer to my city, and then I would spend a couple nights a week with him just to get the experience of kind of living with each other. It's it's different in dating and you're all in love, and then with living with someone is different. So we kind of slowly progressed into living with each other. Like I said, I would stay a couple nights and then eventually moved in together. So that was the best thing for us to do, just because I felt like you had kind of have to get a little bit of time to see how it's going to be living together. It's a different ball game when you move in and you're sharing your space with someone else. So we did that, and I felt like that was the best choice that we made, because when we moved in, we were somewhat comfortable. It's still hard at times, but we spent a couple days a week sleeping and living together, so it definitely made for a more easier transition to moving in. So
absolutely. So and then we moved in as of June of last year. So we've been in this apartment for actually a year now, going on the 14th. And we're going to have our ceremony next month in July. So that's going to be great there. And, living with somebody is definitely a change. So it was actually great that we spent those 2 nights together a week and figured out what our nuances were, and, getting used to one another and figuring out what one person does and the other, what they enjoy, and what differences you had and what spaces you need to give them. So it's definitely a great idea to make sure that, when you are going to marry someone or are engaged or are going to live with somebody, that you spend some time with them at their home and see how they are, so that way you can know, hey, can I deal with this? Or is this too much? Or are they asking me to change too much of what I'm doing and things like that? So, it's a...
yeah. So like he was saying, next month we're having our actual ceremony with all our family there. So be posting a video of the wedding. That will be recorded as well. So it's very exciting to actually have the ceremony. Now we've been, together or married for a year, so actually having the ceremony with our families together is going to be awesome. I can't wait for it. And for us to come, we'll have some great videos coming with more keeping it real with the goals. We'll also be doing some vlogging videos with the day in the life. We'll be doing some cooking videos together. I also plan to do some workout videos together. I do a lot of dance fitness, and I really enjoy it, so I want to put some videos out of that. That's something that's really hard, at least for me, to find on YouTube. A lot of people that do a lot of dance fitness, so I wanted to make my own channel on that. In the process of trying to lose weight, so that's something that's important to me that I want to bring to our channel as well. Any other things to our channel to come?
And I'll be doing probably videos on my own channel outside of this as well for wrestling and sports, because I'm a big sports fanatic. But on our channel, we're going to do lots of cooking, lots of meals, lots of advice, day of the life type of things, going out, what we do daily, lots of comical things. You get to learn about each one of us and how we're different, how we're alike, how you can mirror your relationship to ours and see how awesome that is, and things like that. So it's going to be definitely a great video, and there's a lot more to come. So
he just repeated everything I just said, like what we're going to do on our channel. He said everything exactly. But there's nothing wrong
but
with
I spend it differently.
Reiterate what we're going to be doing, so it's exciting. So yeah, we'll be definitely having our videos of on our channel together, as well as separate channels, like you said, his things, and on my separate channel will be on the fitness workout. So everything else I said will be together for us, and then I'll do my fitness channel separate, and he'll do his things as well. So we'll definitely keep you guys updated on our videos, and we're very excited to get started. So I hope you guys enjoyed our advice. on online dating, especially just how we met each other, experience from dating to us getting married to our upcoming wedding. This is a very exciting time in our life, and we just want to be able to share that with you guys, and hopefully you guys will, continue to watch. If you have any questions, please let us know down below. Comment, rate, subscribe. All of our social media, things will socia. I said socia. All of our
All associate blooper time. No,
all of our social media information will be down below as well, so be able to follow us there as well. Anything else you want to say, Dan?
Well, we'll have all our social media pages up here in the next couple days, Facebook, Twitter, all that, and hopefully comment below any questions or concerns or anything you'd like us to answer.
Why does he keep repeating me? I don't understand. We're going to have to work on that dynamic there, because he's repeating everything I just said, but it's all good. All right, babe. Yes. All right, so that is our first video. Woo! Excited?
Woo!
All right, thank you guys for watching. Bye. Peace. Do your lips.